Gave my friend's boyfriend her phone/tag when he hit on me at a club. My friend Dana had been dating Brett for almost 2 years, and I never liked him, not for one single day. He was tall, dark hair, always wore the same leather jacket like it was a personality. I'd seen pictures of him 100 times on Dana's fridge, but never met him in person. He worked nights at his cousin's garage 2 towns over, so our schedules never lined up. 6 months before this story, Dana found messages on his pager from some girl named Courtney. He begged, cried, said it was a coworker with a crush on him. Dana forgave him. I told her not to. She did it anyway. One Friday night, my roommate Paula dragged me to a club downtown called Vertigo. It was packed, sticky floors, bass so loud you felt it in your teeth. I had on a green tank top I only wore when I actually wanted to be looked at, and 2 vodka sodas in me by 11. That's when I saw him. Tall, dark hair, leather jacket, even inside the club. I did a double take. 90% sure it was Brett. He was leaning against the bar, laughing loud with his buddies. Not a single thought in his head about Dana sitting home watching a movie. He noticed me staring, and took it as an invitation. Came over, said something about my drink, asked if he could buy the next one. I said sure. When he told me his name, I was certain. Same name from every photo on Dana's fridge. I did not tell him who I was. I gave him a fake name, Jill. We talked for maybe 20 minutes. He had his hand on the bar right next to mine, leaning in close, telling me how he never usually did this, how there was just something about me. I nodded along and thought about Dana, curled up on her couch in her pajamas, trusting this guy completely. Then he asked for my number. Back then, nobody had a cell phone worth anything. You wrote your number on whatever was around. He grabbed a cocktail napkin off the bar and handed me a pen from his jacket pocket. I wrote Jill. Then I wrote Dana's actual phone number, digit for digit, the one I had called probably 500 times. He folded the napkin, tucked it in his jacket pocket, told me he'd call soon. I smiled and said I looked forward to it. Then Paula pulled me to the dance floor before I could laugh in his face. I didn't say anything to Dana that week. I figured he'd sober up, find the napkin, recognize the number, and just throw it away. I told myself I did something, even if nobody ever knew about it. 2 nights later, Dana called me sounding confused. Some guy called the house tonight, she said. Asked for someone named Jill. Wouldn't say who he was. Hung up when I said he had the wrong number. I sat on my bed holding the phone, not saying a word for a second too long. That's weird, I said, which was true. It was weird. It was also the funniest thing I had heard in months. He called back 2 more times that week. Once he asked Dana if Jill was there in this hushed, hopeful voice, like maybe she'd just stepped out. Dana told him a 3rd time there was no Jill at that number. Could he please stop calling? He hung up without apologizing. Dana brought it up to Brett, annoyed, telling him some guy kept calling their house asking for a woman who didn't exist. Brett went quiet, then got weirdly defensive. Said maybe it was a wrong number. Said she was being paranoid for even mentioning it. That defensiveness is what did it, not the calls themselves. She started paying closer attention after that, checking his hours against what he told her. 3 weeks later, she found out from a mutual friend that he'd been at Vertigo that same Friday night, when he told her he was working a double at the garage. She broke up with him the next day. Didn't scream, just told him she was done and changed the locks that weekend. I still didn't tell her the truth, not then. A few months later, Dana met Paul at a coworker's barbecue, and it was one of those things where you could just tell. He remembered her coffee order after one conversation. A year later, they got married in her parents' backyard, string lights everywhere, her dad crying through the whole toast. That's when I finally told her about the napkin. We were sitting on her porch after the wedding, both a little drunk on champagne, and I just said it. The club, the leather jacket, the fake name, her actual number written on a napkin by my own hand. She stared at me for a second, and I braced myself, thinking maybe this was the wrong moment. Then she started laughing so hard she had to put her glass down. He drove himself into asking his own girlfriend if she was cheating with a woman named Jill, she said, wiping her eyes, and I dumped him because of it. She made me tell the story again at Thanksgiving that year, in front of Paul and her whole family, and every time she got to the part about Brett asking for Jill in that hopeful little voice, she laughed just as hard as the first time.